Hi, and welcome to level 2. If you've made it to level 2, that means you have watched and participated in both lesson 1 and lesson 2 in level 1. That also means that you have passed off a level 1 song. So either Cherry Pie or Starlight Starbright, and you sent me a video on Seesaw and I passed it off. So if you've done all of those things, then you are ready for level 2. So in level 2, we are going to learn high D. So let's get started. So before we learn the high D, we're going to learn a new poem. So you're just going to keep a steady beat and listen while I say this poem about the months of the year. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest but February each have 31. Echo me. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest but February each have 31. My turn. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. My turn. All the rest but February each have 31. Go. My turn. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest but February each have 31. How did you do? If you need to stop the video and go back and repeat the poem so you've got it, go ahead and do that now. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an ostinato. An ostinato is a repeated pattern. It can be a rhythmic pattern or a melodic pattern. The one we're going to create is going to be a rhythmic pattern that will make our poem more interesting. So if you look at your screen, I have some rhythmic units. So this top rhythm, let's go ahead and tap that. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ti. Look at the second pattern. 2 quarter notes is just ta, ta. And the last rhythm is ta, rest. So we're going to use 2 of those rhythms. And if we were in the same classroom, I would let you pick. But since it's just me, I'm going to go ahead and pick. So I love having rests in my ostinato patterns because I think they're really interesting. So I'm going to do the ta, rest, and then let's do ta, ta to start out with. So get your recorder and you're going to tap this ostinato. So this ostinato would be ta, ta, ta. Let's try it again. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Now, while I say the poem, I want you to clap that ostinato. Ta, ta, ta. You're going to do that. You do not need to say the poem at the same time. I want you to focus on one or the other. So for this first time, just focus on that ostinato. You're going to repeat it over and over while I say that poem. Ready, go. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest but February each have 31. How did you do? If you need to go back and practice that ostinato, go ahead and do that. Now, while I'm playing the pattern, you say the poem. So I'm just going to play the ostinato. You're going to say the poem. Ready, go. How did you do? Let's try it. Let's maybe switch it up a little bit. I like this rest, but I'm going to go ahead and let's try this one right here. The ta, Tati. Oh, I'm having a hard time sliding it over. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if we like this one more, just out of curiosity. Let's say the poem. You go ahead and play the ostinato. I'll say the poem. 1, 2. Oh, before we do that, let's just practice the ostinato. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ti, ta, 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 ti, ta, ta. Good. If you've got that, now you're ready to play that while I say the poem. 1, 2, ready, go. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest but February each have 31. If you've got it, go ahead and say the poem while I play this ostinato. 1, 2, ready, go. Did you get it? Hopefully. All right, so now we've got our song. We are going to be playing this song starting on the high C, which if you remember, we're going to make our little bird, or maybe it's more like a giraffe. Put your thumb and your middle finger together. Those are the two fingers that we use on the high C. Our middle finger counts down to the second hole because our top finger needs to be able to set down on that top hole in order to play the A. So let's go ahead and look at this. And we know that C is on the third space. So I'm going to get my pen out and we're going to count up and make sure that we're starting on a C. That's the spaces all spell what word? The spaces all spell face. So here's the first space. That would be F. A is on the second space. And C is on the third space. And then our top space would be E. I'm going to go ahead and erase those. So we're going to play 30 days hath September just on the C, just to review. All right, so get your C ready to go. I'll go ahead and play it first. You just listen. Make sure when we play our C, let's make sure you've got it. Try it. If your pitch sounds just like mine, then you're ready to go. If not, you can make sure that you're really pushing down on those holes, that you've got finger warts, you've got those circles on your fingers that shows you that you're really covering up those holes. The other things that you need to make sure that you're doing is that you've got really gentle, foggy breath, like you're cleaning your glasses, or like you're fogging up a window. Now my glasses are foggy. All right, so let's try our C again. And this time I'm going to play the poem just on my C. Did you hear how I was using the same rhythm from our poem? Okay, why don't you try it with me? 1, 2, ready, go. If you're still having a hard time on that, pause the video and just practice getting that rhythm and then see if you can play it with me. All right, let's keep moving on. This time, we're going to practice our poem using the C and the A. So we're going to start on C, which is what we just did, and then we go down to the second space. I'm going to go ahead and color in all of those A's that are on the second space just to help you know when you need to drop down. So all of these second space notes are on the A. So go ahead, practice playing your A, get your 2 fingers down on those top 2 holes and cover the back hole with your thumb just to get ready. And then I'll play it for you as soon as all of these A's are colored in, just to help us figure it out. Okay, here we go. So get your C ready because we're starting on C. Let's just practice this. Let's sing the note names. And then here's our A. Make sure you've got that A matching mine. So I'm going to go ahead and sing that on our notes, and you are going to just tap down that top finger on those red A notes. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November, all the rest but February, each have 31. This time, let's sing it with the note letter names. So start on your high C. C, C, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A, A, C. Rest. How did you do? Okay, let's go ahead and play it now. 1, 2, ready, go. Did you get it? All right, let's go ahead and move on. So our newest note, like I said at the beginning of this video, is going to be the high D. This note is higher than C. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you now. So in order to play the high D, let's first get our C ready. So we're going to make our little giraffe. Put your thumb on the back hole. Middle finger goes on the second hole. Now in order to play, here's our C. In order to play that high D, we are going to open up the door and take our thumb off. Did you hear how it went up in sound? So I'm just opening the door on my recorder hand. So here's my C. And then I'm going to open up, lift off my thumb, and that is going to make the recorder sound go up a little higher. There's my C. Now try the D. Go ahead and practice getting that sound. So this is what it looks like on the fingering chart. The only hole that we are covering is that second hole with our middle finger. So you're covering up that middle hole. Your thumb is off of that back hole. So we've got our C is a space note. We practiced that, F-A-C. The second space is an A. D is not a space note. D is going to be on our lines. So give me a thumbs up. Put your fingers out. Let's go ahead and review the names of our lines. E, G, B, D, F. Oh, let's do that again. E, G, B, D, F. So what line is the D on? So 1, 2, 3, 4. It is on the fourth line. So I'm going to grab this D, if I can get it. Nope. Man, sometimes this program just doesn't want me to get it. And if I can drag it, it's just not working. All right, well, the D, I'm going to draw it in since my mouse isn't working. The D is going to go on this fourth line right here. And then we're using quarter notes. So there is our D. The D is going to be on the fourth line. And again, we play that with our giraffe, thumb, middle finger, but then we lift off our thumb. So here's our D again. Now, to play those high notes, that high D, you really have to have gentle air. If you're blowing a lot of air into it and it's not warm and gentle, it's going to sound kind of bad. And recorders can sometimes have a bad reputation, so we want to make sure to change that reputation and make sure people know that recorders can actually sound beautiful. All right, so on this one, we are going to place missing rhythms on C, A, or D. So I've got these notes over here. Now, if the note has two sounds, like timber from September, that needs to have two sounds in our rhythm. So we would need to use 2/8 notes. So either this one right here or this one on timber. If it has one sound like June, then we use just the quarter note. Now, you might be wondering, why are some of those stems facing up and why are some of those stems facing down? So if you look at this one, this stem is facing down, this stem is facing up. So, and the reason that is because after we pass the middle line on the staff, which is this line right here, Hopefully I can make this kind of straight. If the note is on that line or above it, the stem will face down. So you see that right now on my screen, all I have are high Cs, and all of those stems face down. If the note is below that middle red B line, then the stems point up. And it just makes it so that we're not covering up too much space above or below the staff. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some of those notes over. So 30 days, we need a note. Let's go ahead and pick the A. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on A. And that would sound like this. Now we've got timber. I kind of want to put our newest note, which is the D. So since D is above that middle line, what way do the stems need to point? They need to point down. So I am going to pick this one right here. Well, if I can get it. Oh man, sometimes this computer, there we go, now it's working. Okay, so my stems need to point down so that they're not really high up on my staff. Let's try this again. So just that first line is going to sound like this. Did you take your thumb off to play that high D? I hope so. Now let's look at the next line. April, June, and November. I think that we could just do exactly what we did in the first line. A lot of songs repeat the same pattern. So I like that. Let's just make it simple and make June on an A, if it'll work. So June is going to be on an A, and then we'll again put Vember will be on the high D. And then, so we can play that again. Let's go ahead and try that. April, June, and November. Now let's look at the third line. All the rest but February. So we need rest but. That's two sounds, so we need 2/8 notes. Let's just keep the same pattern, just because I think that will be the easiest way. All the rest but. Let's try that. Nope. If it will work. All the rest but February. Here we go. Go ahead and play that. Ready, go. And then look at the last line. Each have 31. Let's put 30 on the high D just to make that last line just a little bit different. So the last line is going to be this. Rest. Okay, go ahead and pause this video and practice playing this. The first 3 lines are going to be pretty easy because that pattern just repeats itself, except for the third line has 2/8 notes instead of a quarter note. So pause the video, practice it, and when you're ready, unpause it and play it with me. All right, you are ready to play it. Let's go. 1, 2, ready, go. That's kind of a cool song. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and make up your own. You can improvise and play it however you want on the notes C, A, and D. All right, well, we are finished with this lesson. Make sure you go back and repeat the parts that you need to, and then go to Seesaw and play me 30 Days Hath September on the notes C, D, and A. You can either play it the way that it's written up here on the screen, or if you would like to make your own way using the notes C, D, and A, go ahead and do that and go to Seesaw, record it for me. I am really excited to see what you do. Bye-bye.